Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I will be talking about Yi Sun-shin and why I believe he is in trouble. The reason why I'm making this video is because he is now very easy to counter with one skill from Recharge Pack, and of course we do have Ares, which is a little bit more high end of the aspect, but in this video I will be showing you guys visually and why I believe Yi Sun-shin is really in trouble. So that being said, let's take a look at this video. So before we go further into this video, we need to look at the skill description for Yi Sun-shin. And as you can see here, channel and create an area of protections. That means it's a barrier. Although it doesn't say directly which it should, it's still going to be a barrier for 6 seconds, and all allies will receive 30% less damage, and also you increase 30% by healing, right? Receive. So that is kind of like the skill. It doesn't say anything about barrier, but when you go look into the battle replay, which I will show you guys in a minute, that it actually creates a barrier. So one skill that will be countering that is going to be Iron Curtain. I've seen that recently, and I believe it's kind of like very strange way to have suddenly come up with a skill and then just counter Yi Sun-shin instead of having, if you have that skill coming out, which is fine, but then you have to change the skill description here to say it's like something create a barrier of protections, because that would be more transparent. Not every people's gonna understand this, except those fanatics, those grinders that probably gonna know that is a barrier. But yeah, let's take a look at the battle replay. So here I am with Binu, shout out to him. I'm gonna use his march as a reference because he do have Iron Curtain on his Tutankhamun, which is directly counter to barrier of Yi Sun-shin. Like I said earlier in this video, it doesn't say barrier on Yi Sun-shin's ultimate, but it's basically a barrier, right? An area of protection is barrier. So here it says that it reduces or weakens the barriers on all enemies by 30%. What I perceive is that you take 30% out of 30%, which means 9% of that 30%. So you will still have 21% left. That's how I understand it. I might be wrong. It is either you remove the whole 30% from Yi Sun-shin's ultimate, which is that damage reductions, right? Or you just remove 9% of it. So that is up to every people to kind of interpret, but the way I interpret it is that it just 30% of that 30% Yi Sun-shin has. So that means we're still going to be having 21% left of that barrier instead of 30. So yeah, that being said, now we're talking about this, let's take a look at the replay. And the reason why I took this long to kind of like make a video about this is because I was uncertain, right? I was uncertain about what kind of like barrier is this, because on the skill description it doesn't say barrier on Yi Sun-shin, but now that I see it in person in here, you can literally see the icon right here. I'm gonna pause it for you guys so you can see it yourself right there. Okay, the barrier is not here, so let's wait a little bit. Let's speed up a little bit here. You can see right here that we do have some barrier icon. That is basically Yi Sun-shin's ultimate. As you can see here, that is his ultimate, creating a barrier, and you have an icon basically from the Iron Curtain that is, it means that the barrier is weakened. And yeah, that's pretty much that determined the whole thing for me, and why I believe kind of like Yi Sun-shin is in trouble, because not only that people use or have this skill from the Iron Curtain or this effect from Iron Curtain, you have it on Ares as well. Does that mean that they are trying to IK are trying to make something that directly counter Yi Sun-shin? In my opinion, it would have been better if it was an immortal rather than a skill, but IK, it doesn't really make sense sometimes. So yeah, that might be one of the thing that I am kind of disappointed the most about the game. It would be amazing if they release a new immortal. Might be a lightning, it might be something like that, I don't care, but there should be immortal counter immortal, not one single skill render one immortal totally useless, right? That is my opinion about it and my stand about it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video and why I believe Yi Sun-shin might be in trouble. I show you guys throughout the video the skill right here, basically countering Yi Sun-shin's technically a barrier, which is kind of like doesn't say that, but it's a barrier, right? So, and you have Aries, so you have to be aware of it when you are fighting against people with Iron Curtain skill, because that can make your Yi Sun-shin a little bit weaker. Although, if you don't face it, I believe he's going to be one of the best, and that's probably why IK is trying to kind of find a counter against Yi Sun-shin. So yeah, that's it for this video. And what do you guys think about this? And let me know in the comment section and let's have a discussion about this. So yeah, see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.